Is it visible screen? Yes, please.
Visible.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good morning to Varandal. Today we will discuss a topic that is principles of sample survey. So last time we discussed about what is in the sample and what is in the sample survey and what is in the census and what are the advantages and disadvantages of sample and population or census. Okay. So here in that first module we have that one topic that is sample surveys and what are the principles of sample surveys. For example, when we are going to do some surveys, so what are the ethics? Nothing but what are the principles we need to take into consider. So here, there are three basic principles for designing a sample surveys. For example, when we are going to do some survey, so we need to do some basic principles. Nothing but we need to follow certain principles to do a surveys. So there are basically three types. There is the three principles, not types. Sorry. Yeah, the first one is a principle of optimization. Optimization. Okay. Then second one, a principle of validity. Validity. Then third one, a principle of statistical regulation. A principle of statistical regulation. Okay. So there are three basic principles. So when you're doing the sample survey, the first one is a principle of optimization. Principle of optimization. So here in the principle of optimization, so what is the optimization generally when you're learning of economics? That is about maximize, nothing but optimize, right? So here the principle of optimization takes into account the factors of efficiency as well as cost. So when we are doing a survey, so we can keep in mind that we should get some efficiency and cost. So what is efficiency? So here, see, for example, whatever the resource you have, you need to utilize that resources, and by using the such kind of resources, you need to maximize and you need to optimize the results. Nothing but whatever the resource you have, you need to utilize that resources and you need to get more benefit. So that is called efficiency. For example, if you take here in the efficiency also that less resources and less cost. For example, so you need to gather more information by using less resources and less expend nothing by spending less amount. Okay, so here the efficiency will come. Okay, then here when it comes to the cost, generally as you know that when you're doing a service, you need to spend some money, to travel or food expenditure or for example lodging expenditure, right? So the generally the cost is measured by the expenditure, nothing but say whatever we do some expenditure, it is nothing but cost. It is incurred in terms of money. For example, it's sometimes manpower also. For example, when you are going to collect the information, you should have some manpower. If you go only one, so you may not collect the more information. Am I right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So your manpower also should be there. For example, you are only one people. You are one. For example, if I give the assignment to you that you need to collect the 100 sample households, nothing but I will give some questionnaire. So you need to gather information from 100 households. Will you gather only 2 days? No. So it is not possible to interact with each and every person. It may take 30 to 20 to 30 minutes in order to gather some information from one household. So therefore, you need to employ 3 or 4 people. 3 or 4 people. So this is a manpower, nothing but so along with you, you need to take your friends, 3 or 4 members. Then at a time you can go to particular villages, you can gather information, nothing but so at a simultaneously you will gather within half an hour, you will gather nothing but 4 people will gather from the 4 people, right? So that the manpower also should be there. For example, when you have the manpower is less, when the cost is less, in order to expend nothing but travel cost. So these are the comes under the optimization. So keep in mind that when you are going to do, for example, in this graduate course, If you have the project work, you can do the surveys. If you don't have the surveys, you cannot do it. As the master course, definitely one of the papers should be there uh, for the field work or the some surveys or project. So in order to complete the project, you need to collect the information from the respondent. Please keep in mind that when you're doing a surveys, so you should have to maintain, or you should have to utilize this kind of local resources as whatever you have the resources you should have to utilize, and you should have to spend some money, which is less money, nothing but less expenditure, and you should have to use manpower also. So by using whatever the resources and whatever the cost, whatever your expenditure and whatever the resource or our manpower is there, so you should have to get maximum output, nothing but maximum benefit. Have you understood? I hope you understood.
Sir, can you repeat the efficiency, sir?
See, efficiency measured by the sampling variance of the estimator. For example, here the optimization, or in the case of efficiency, that given a level of efficiency will be reached with the minimum possible resources. Minimum possible resources. Simple. For example, so how I can say that you are efficient person? For example, if I've given space, for example, okay. See, I'm giving some question. You need to write within these 10 lines. For example, somebody will extend the answers, whatever they have written, and they are repeating in the second line and third line also. Some people they will not repeat again. Whatever the spaces I have given, so you should have to utilize this space only. Don't write an extra. For example, here in the efficiency case, whatever the resources are there, so you should have to use the resources and get maximum output. Simple here. So here you should have to get efficiency by using a minimum resources and minimum cost. For example, if you take in the production system, for example, I'm going to give a production. For example, if you want to produce a pen, so you need to have some raw materials. Am I right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So plastic or some steel, for example. Okay. So if I have given plastic is half kg, steel is only 1/10 kgs, for example. So you need to produce 100 pens. Same quantity if I given to someone, X person and Y person, 1/2 and 1/4 kgs. Okay. So he has produced 110 pens. Who is efficient?
Second one, sir.
Second one, because so he has used the minimum resources and he has produced more compared with the X person. Have you understood? But at the same time, the cost per 100 pence is 50 rupees. Yet the cost per 100 pence is 49 rupees, for example. If you take the cost wise also. So he has spent 50 rupees in order to produce 100 pence. He has spent 49 rupees in order to produce 110 pence or 100 pence also. No problem if you take. Because see, he has used the less cost. He has produced the same. Even he has used 50 and he has produced only 10. If you take it to cost wise, no problem. Have you understood the point? I think. Yes, please.
Minimum maintain some efficiency now, sir.
Yes, please. Sorry.
Nothing, sir. Minimum maintain some efficiency, sir.
Yeah, see, efficiency in the sense, for example, when you are using less resources to get maximum output or maximization or optimization. I think when you are studying in mathematics, the maximization and minimization, right? What it means, maximization? What is meant by optimization? Optimization is the maximization more or less same. Optimum is about optimum level. Maximization is about maximum level. Yeah. I think, is it clear or still anybody the doubt? Then comes to that principle of validity. What is validity? For example, when you're doing a surveys, okay, the sample should be selected that results could be interpreted objectively in terms of probability. According to this validity, the sampling provides a valid estimation about the population parameter. So validity nothing but whatever we can take population, whatever we can take sample. See, this is called population. If you take the sample 1 or 2 or 5 sample, for example, okay. So if you take 5 samples, you will get results. For an average is 10 marks, for example. If I take 5 students out of your class, total is 35. If I take 5 sample, so their average marks is 10 marks. For example, I have taken 5 sample myself. Okay. For example, Chari, for example, Upendra Chari has taken, for example. Okay. He has taken 5 sample. He has got 10 marks by taking another 5 samples, for example. So that is a validity. For example, if it is close, no problem. If, for example, I have taken 5 sample, I got 10 marks. Upendra has taken 5 sample, he has got 11 marks. No problem. This is more or less equal to 10 is more or less equal to same. Or sometimes you may get 10.5 also. Sometimes you may get 9.5 also. But if I get 10, if you get 15, it is not a validity. Nothing but, so whatever, if you take, for example, however I have taken 5 sample, if you take 5 sample, the same sample, for example, if you take same sample also, the results should be same or more or less the same. Because as I told you that in the beginning, I think when you are discussing the random behavior, the women behavior is random behavior of the human beings. Random behavior of the human beings. For example, if you take, so random, if I have a question to you something about, if I give chocolates to you now, after consuming of your chocolate, so if I have a question that, how much rating will you give? Yes, how much rate will you give, Chari?
5 rupees.
No, not rupees. Yeah, rating. I have given chocolate to you, that is a dairy milk, for example, DM dairy milk. After consumption of dairy milk, I may ask the question, how do you feel? This is very bad, average, good, very good, VG. Which one will you give? There are 5 options. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes,
Average
please.
good, sir. Average good.
Anyone? No, anything you can give. Not average and good. Good is another option, average is another option.
Good, sir.
Yes, please. Good. Okay. At the same time, if I had given chocolate to you in the evening, same chocolate, dairy milk, same size, same quantity. Okay. After consumption of this dairy milk, which one? What is your opinion? If I ask the question, how do you feel?
Very good, sir.
Very good. So why? Because I have given same chocolate to you and same quantity, same company, and same color or design or flavor, something, right? So in this at present, you have given very good. In the evening, you are saying that very good. This is a random behavior of the human being. In social sciences, so the results will be somewhat different. But if it is more or less close, that is a validity. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Have you understood, Chari? Or other people's? Other people's, have you understood? Kathy, Pratibha, or Soumya, or
Yes, sir.
Lalita, Ratik, Geeta, Afal. Yeah. For example, if you take in science, what will happen? I think most of the people have the background of science. For example, when you mix some chemicals, X chemical and Y chemical, the result will be same at present. Am I right? Can you say any item, chemical name, please? Yes, please. Yes, science people.
S2SO4.
Yes, please.
S2SO4, sir.
S2?
SO4.
For
Sulfuric
example,
acid.
yeah, I don't know that. Yeah. So for example, if we combine or if you mix S2 chemical and X4 chemical, the result will be something, right? Okay. For example, in the morning also, you will get the result same. In the evening, if you mix S2 and S4, will you get different value, different results?
No, sir.
No.
Yeah,
So
it may, sir.
yeah, so there is no difference between these two. But whereas in social science, so you will get some different results because the random behavior of the human being is different. So I think when you are studying a regression analysis, have you studied a regression analysis? Yes, please. Hello. All are you there or hello?
We didn't study it, sir.
Yes, please. Kathy?
We didn't study it, sir.
Yeah. So regression is nothing but a cause and effect relationship. I think mathematics in your you have the regression, right? Y is equal to a plus bx.
Maybe
See,
we
here,
studied, sir, but
see here in mathematics, there is a, for example, y is equal to mx plus c. Have you studied this one, mx plus c? The linear equations,
Yeah.
for example, if you take.
yes, sir, yes, sir.
So in mathematics, there is an exact relationship. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Am I right? So in mathematics, for example, I'm going to give, for example, y is equal to 5x plus 2. If x is equal to 2, how much?
12.
Yes, please.
12.
10 plus 2 is equal to 12, right? So in economics, y is equal to 5x plus 2 when x is equal to 2. How much y value?
12, same, sir.
5x plus 2, 10 plus 2, 12, right? But here in economics, the random, nothing but the error term will be added, nothing but in the regression, in the mathematics, we will write like this: y is equal to a plus bx, y is equal to beta 0 plus beta 1 x1. But when you write in econometrics, you are going to study in the next semester, I think. When you're going to study econometrics, we will add the error term epsilon or e or u, both. Anything you can write epsilon, e or u. It is nothing but error term, nothing but. For example, here, do you think that, for example, here, if I say that y is called GDP, x is called exports. Hello, are you there?
Yes,
Please
sir.
respond. So, do you think that GDP is depends on only exports?
Imports.
For example, the GDP is equal to 5, x is nothing but export, exp, I'm writing shortcut, plus 2. Do you think that the GDP depends on only exports?
No, sir.
It can depends on so many factors, right? So therefore, we can include the error terms, that is E or epsilon or U. Okay. So therefore, it may be 2, it may be 12, it may be 11, it may be 13, it may be 14 also. So therefore, in mathematics, we have exact relationship, but whereas in econometrics, we have inexact relationship. In econometrics, we have inexact relationship. When you add the error term, it is called econometrics. Before adding the error term, it is called mathematical equation or mathematical function. Am I right, dear student? Mathematics students, you are the mathematics students, no? You know better, very well, better than me. Hello? Sushant, Kathy, or Sunit, yeah, please. Ritik. Please, Kumar, somebody is asking a question, right? Please, you can ask.
Yes. Sir, how can we analyze? Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir,
How can we analyze?
analyze data into scientifically in scientifically terms?
Sorry, I'm not able to listen properly. How can we analyze?
Data in scientifically.
Scientifically. See here, generally, if you take mathematics equation, you will get like this 12. When it comes to the error term, So it may be plus or minus, not plus, maybe plus or minus. Error will be negative, it may be positive. For example, when you have the data only, you are going to estimate these values. Otherwise, you cannot get. For example, how 5 will come and how 2 will come, somebody may have the doubt also. Okay, why not 6, why not 1? So it depends on the slope. Is nothing but 5 is nothing but coefficient value or parameter or slope. 2 is nothing but constant or intercept. I may answer you.
Yes,
Did I answer you?
yes, sir.
For example, when you are writing y is equal to a plus bx, so a is nothing but constant. Sum of y by sum of y by something will come. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So b is equal to sum of xy by sum of x square. Okay. So a is nothing but y minus y bar minus bx bar. So this is the formula to get a value and b value. When we have the x value and y value, for example, x is called exports now, y is called GDP. For example, if you take the data, how many exports, how much GDP. So on the base of value only, you will get that value sum of x, sum of small x into y by sum of small x square. So a is equal to y bar minus b cap x bar. Yeah. So this is a validity how we can get it. But in social sciences, somewhat we will get some different answers. But if it is very close to that, we will say that this is a validity. Or when you are discussing biased estimator or unbiased estimator, I think when you are discussing the properties of good estimator, am I right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, when we are discussing the properties of good estimator, we have discussed of unbiased and biased. If it is very close to the estimated value, so we can say that it is a good estimator. So therefore, here when we are doing repeatedly, for example, if I collect the data out of 35 5 members, so I got the 10 marks average. Sometimes if I collect the data another next day from 5 members, I should have to get 10 only. This is the validity. So how many times out of 100 times, if you get 95 times, it is get good results. That is called 95% confidence level. Whatever we have done in the last unit, that is a normal distribution. So we have done a 95% confidence level, a 90% confidence level, 99.9 confidence level. Means that when you are doing 100 times, if you get 95 times is correct, that is called 95% confidence level. That is a validity. Whether it's a validity or not, we will check it. So when you are doing a survey, so keep on, we will take some samples from the population, then we will check whether they are giving a valid answers or not. Okay, so I think I hope you understood this one. Still, do you have any doubt? So nothing but when you are taking sample data, so if you get standard average is 10 marks. When we compare with the population average, there is a parameter. How much the parameter is a 10? For example, if you know the population data, if you have the average of the population, there is a 10. If you take the sample, so you got 10. So the 10 is equal to 10. That is called, whatever we can take some sample, the sample estimate about the population parameter. Or if it is close, the population sample status is very close to the population parameter. So whatever we are taking some sample, that is an accurate or valid. Have you understood? Or still anybody has a confusion? Yes, please. Hello. Are you there? All the students?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Have you understood, Gita? Aflal, Tejraj, Khyati, John, Ritik.
Yes, sir, no doubt.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then third one, the principle of statistical regulation. Principle of statistical regulation. So what it is, that is the principle of statistical regulation. So you see, we mean that a moderately large number of items chosen at random from large group. For example, when we have the large group, for example, if you take your university is a very large group, if you take some samples from the large group, so here, so almost sure on the average to possess the characteristic of all the large groups. For example, this is the university, for example. So there are 3,000 students are studying in this university. If I take 50 sample, so this is a large group, right? This is a large group. Whatever I taken some sample, which is only 50, right? So which is less than 10%. Am I right? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, which is less than 10%. When we are taking a sample from the large group, so whatever the 50 has taken sample, that sample should have some characteristics of the population. Whatever we have taken some sample, the sample should be a replica of the population. Simple. Replica nothing but, so this 50 sample should be represent the whole population. Nothing but the average. To process the characteristics of the large sample, nothing but the characteristics, nothing but whatever the 3,000 students have the their characters. So whatever I have taken 50 sample, so the 50 students characters should be replica of the all 3,000 students. Am I right? For example, say
Yes, sir.
when you're cooking rice, for example, simple. Okay, so whatever we can pick up 2 or 3 or some in order to test whether the rice is properly cooked or not. So whatever we have taken sample, it should be replica of the whole rice. Am I right? Am I right or not? Wrong.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So same thing here. If you take in when you are cooking rice, so you have a lot of rice peaks, right? So you cannot touch each and everything, right? So therefore, you will take some little bit sample, then you will verify that whether the rice is cooked properly or not, or whether the rice is good or not. Also, you can check when you are purchasing a rice bag from the shop, right? So this is a principle of the statistical regularity. Nothing but the sample should be replica of the population. For example, if the sample is not replica of the population, so that your results will be bias. Your results will be bias. Your results will be bias. Have you understood the principles of sample survey? So basically, there are 3 principles of sample survey. First one is a principle of optimization. Within the optimization, we have the efficiency, cost, and manpower. Then second one, principle of validity, and principle of statistical regulation. Yeah, still, anybody have the doubt?
Sir,
Yes, please.
sir, only three only, sir, principle of sampling.
So, yeah, I see. There are maybe others also there, but major principles of sample survey is